Ex-Trump spokesperson Stephanie Grisham just exposed the Trump family at the DNC.
On January 6th, I asked Melania if we could at least tweet that while peaceful protest is the right of every American, there's no place for lawlessness or violence. She replied with one word: no. I became the first senior staffer to resign that day. I couldn't be part of the insanity any longer.
Does it seem weird that everyone that worked for Trump, his cabinet members, they all hate him?
He didn't understand, because he didn't understand fundamentally much of anything about international affairs. His decisions were not based on a coherent philosophy or a coherent policy.
But we were safer.
They were erratic.
Safer. He kept world
under
leaders.
Donald Trump.
He kept world leaders.
He
on
signed
their,
a deal with
heels,
the Taliban.
Sir. He kept them on their back feet. They didn't know where he was coming from, and that made us safer. I mean, can you? He had President
and
Xi
he cut a deal with the Taliban to withdraw from Afghanistan.
I made it clear that there were profound differences between me and President Trump on a range of issues, and not just our difference on my constitutional duties that I exercised on January the 6th. I mean, as I have watched his candidacy unfold, I've seen him walking away from our commitment to confronting the national debt. I've seen him starting to shy away from a commitment to the sanctity of human life.
Is Donald Trump, a lot of my friends say, okay, he's made mistakes, and okay, January 6th, and okay, this and that. It is his policies that we'd be voting for. Given that pragmatic side also, do you think he is emotionally fit to be president of the United States? I disagree. I think that Trump and Biden will be the candidates, that whatever that says about the United States. Is he fit to be president of the United States? Is Donald Trump fit to be president?
This is the way I'll answer that, Geraldo, which is, if you believe in his policies, he's what he's advertising is his policies. He's the last person who could actually execute them and achieve them. He does not have the discipline. He does not have the ability for strategic thinking and linear thinking or setting priorities. Or how to get things done in the system. It is a horror show.
But this lady's different. She was a diehard Trump supporter.
I wasn't just a Trump supporter. I was a true believer. I was one of his closest advisors. The Trump family became my family. I spent Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all at Mar-a-Lago. I saw him when the cameras were off. Behind closed doors, Trump mocks his supporters. He calls them basement dwellers. On a hospital visit one time when people were dying in the ICU, he was mad that the cameras were not watching him. He has no empathy, no morals, and no fidelity to the truth. He used to tell me, "It doesn't matter what you say, Stephanie. Say it enough and people will believe you."
Trump, I mean, he knows that his supporters are going to be there no matter what. He doesn't really, he knows he said, shoot someone on Fifth Avenue, they'll still support me.
My people are so smart. And you know what else they say about my people? The polls. They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
I'll do a coup, they'll still support me. Which has been true and also very much not true. There have been a lot of people that have just left. They're like, this is unacceptable on levels upon levels.
Anything but Trump.
That was your priority.
That's my priority.
Is that
I think Donald Trump is a threat to the well-being of our country.
It's important to me to keep Trump out of office again. Project 2025, I've read it, I've studied it. It's scary, it's frightening.
What is also ridiculous to me is he did not have a good presidency. Things happened to be good. They happened to be good, with the exception of COVID. Before COVID, I mean, he was riding on the great economy of Obama. And that is what is very frustrating to me, that if he were to get reelected, he will inherit a fantastic economy from Joe Biden. Fantastic. there was immense inflation worldwide, not just in the United States. A lot of Trump supporters I speak to don't really get that inflation was worldwide. Oil prices went up worldwide. This wasn't just, from Biden shutting down the Keystone pipeline, which they still say, even though it's been proven false again and again and again and again. Oh my God.
When Trump was in House, we had cheap gas. We had our own people making gas, and Joe Biden closed that pipeline down the first day he signed it. All those thousands of people losing their jobs. I just think it's going to be.
Yet we are today drilling more oil, domestic oil, than we ever have in the history of the country.
I don't think so.
He did not get a lot of things done in his administration. He didn't get the things done that even he wanted to get done. The wall, the thing, that. However, there is this mythical. It's mythical what he is, Trump. It is. They don't judge him based on any accomplishments. He was the greatest president because he was, and just because of the fact, no new wars. They like to say that. I mean, he didn't do anything to stop Afghanistan. He didn't. There were over almost 100 servicemen that died around the world under his watch. I mean. He bombed Syria, he did tons of drone strikes. But, there wasn't, we weren't escalating our forever wars. It's also funny how these same people will, they talk about, let's not be in wars, and money for wars, which is valid. Yet they'll still criticize Joe Biden for pulling us out of Afghanistan. It doesn't make sense.
We're Gold Star family members, and since the Afghanistan withdrawal, when our 13 kids were killed, he's the only person who's reached out to us. He's the only person who wants to get some accountability for what went wrong in the Afghanistan withdrawal, and he's the only one who's going to pull this country back together. We drive down the road, you see a flag, and who is that person voting for? It shouldn't be like that. This country used to be united. We all believed in this country, and now there's this huge division in this country, and it's a lot because of social media and the media in general that just pits one person against each other. One of these days, and it may not be too far off, we're going to be attacked, and it could be Russia, Iran, and it can be China. They come together against us. What are we going to do? Then we'll finally come together. But we shouldn't have to wait for that. We shouldn't wait till the next world war or till this administration fails so badly, at politics and showing leadership in this world. That's what's going to happen. And there's going to be more kids coming home like our daughter, Sergeant Nicole G, in a casket with a flag-draped coffin.
There's been a bunch of people speaking at this convention this week that were ex-Trump supporters. They supported Trump until. And there's been a lot of people, not just as speakers, I've met and interviewed people that were attendees that voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020. And now they're done. They're like, I'm out, bro. So that is interesting to see. And I just had an interview with someone the other day. They voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and they stopped watching Fox News for a while, and suddenly they the world they sort of deprogrammed themselves. It was like, oh wow, and I didn't know it was that simple. I spoke with this woman, and I thought well, there's got to be some type of transformation. It was like, yeah, she stopped getting fed the constant slew of just complete propaganda, and I was like, oh, it's really that easy. And after a while you get to just sort of form your own opinions on things, and wow, amazing how that works.